this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no
a
one.
second.
No.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. Septum Sin versus the world. 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 I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings. You're watching Septum Sin vs. the World. I just woke up, but I feel it's time to do a little bit of a review. And that review is we are many. So, For We Are Many is a crowd project that was released on, I'm not sure whether it was Kickstarter or Indiegogo, probably Indiegogo these days, is a little bit more popular than Kickstarter. But for many years, we have been enjoying these anthologies. And sometimes, when creators get together with their short films, the best way they can get some sort of spotlight is through a horror anthology. I originally found this on my own, but a friend of mine actually directed one of these and brought up, hey, could you support my thing? I was like, oh yeah, I already did. And he directed one on here called The Slaughtering Grounds. But I'm not going to be going over each and every one of these today. For me, an anthology film has a beautiful aspect to it, which is the simple thing that it's just different stories. So you can have a really terrible story, and on top of that, you can have the majority be good. So when I rate this, it's going to be less on the fact that an individual one was bad, but more to whether the majority of the short films are good. So let's take a look at what we've got here. Of course, I love this design. I mean, look at that. There is a bit of an issue because they don't mark it very clearly, but this is the Blu-ray and this is the DVD. I love the artwork. I mean, it's just really cool looking artwork on this. They really did a good job putting this together. I mean, it looks beautiful. I always worry about the glue coming loose. I've had it come loose occasionally in the past. But that is just such a cool disc. You don't get to see what special features are on here, but I'm going to tell you because there are a lot. There are 2 short stories, horror short stories, the Black Hair and Mon Pop, which are in the extras. And it's just, they kind of show some pictures and they tell the story as it is. To me, they're both pretty darn creepy. And that takes a lot for me, so kudos on that. And this is the extras, by the way. They also have 7 extra short films. So almost an entirely new movie worth of anthologies just in the extras. You get some commentaries on some of the shorts, and you have a few behind-the-scenes docs. I really wish that they had done one on, well, on Dane's piece, but it doesn't always happen that way. There's also a music video, which showcases the music from the film, and a few other little surprises. This has an excellent set of features, and will be factoring in on my review. So, the basics of this, the thing that ties these anthologies together, is this king in the middle of the battle is, well, dying. Well, this man who they think is Death says, well, you will be able to keep the crown should you hear me out. And he's like, nah, Death doesn't make deals like that. And he's like, well, I'm not Death, for we are many. Which, of course, refers to Legion, or a devil of sorts. And he delves into his book, and you get to see these stories. These stories are much higher quality than I had imagined they would be. Usually you get stuff like this, it's a lot of shot-on-video horror, which I'm used to seeing these days. And that's not bad. I mean, that's enjoyable. But this is more professionally done, in my opinion. The acting is so-so for the most part, and the special effects are very fun. Some of these, they did a lot of work on that special effects. I mean, there was one about a, what do they call it, the creek or something like that. That's the one problem I have, I will get to that, is you actually had these creatures in this lock, basically, that are killing people, and they had some really cool effects. Like at the end especially, but I'm not going to ruin that. And some of these films were really genuinely creepy. There was one in a church where they decided to do this thing to summon demons, and just seeing those creatures pop up, it just chilled you to the bone. And as far as Slaughtering Ground is concerned, you'll have to watch it to find out. I liked it. Now you need to check it out so you can see if you like it. Any case, the music is very well done. It helps maintain the mood and pushes the plot forward. The quality varies because this is again an anthology. But none of the films were particularly bad. Some of the extras I didn't care for, I'll admit that. But they're extras, so... But for the most part, the films, the worst grade was... It was okay. That was the worst grade I gave. Otherwise, many of them were very creepy. It gave me a good chill, and that's a rare thing with horror these days. It's so predictable these days. There is a theme of demons and possession involved in this particular series. And the end has a nice little end scare for you. So, what's bad? Well, the main complaint I have is that they kind of just show pictures, but they don't really clearly identify the movies themselves. They don't really identify the titles. You kind of have to guess at the end. And on top of that, it's really hard to navigate to the one you want because there's no labels. So you kind of just have to guess at it. And that's not that good. I also dislike how they did the menu structure because it's really hard to tell what your selection is because they do. Also, is a slightly off version of Red. But these are minor gripes. The menu thing annoyed me more than anything else, but still was fine. So how do we look at it at the end? For we are many, is an interesting and entertaining ride in the horror world. It showcases some fun and talented directors and should not be missed. I will give We Are Many an 8 out of 10. Well, I thank you for watching our review into Horrorland. Why don't we take a look at something else? Stick around after the credits. Goodbye. I rarely showcase channels that don't update, but today I'll throw a bone here. Maybe we can encourage the founder of this channel to start updating again, and that is the Dane Kyle. This is his channel. He is, of course, one of the directors for We Are Many, and I thought, why not give a shout out? You have at least one of his short films on this particular channel, so you can also check that out. Plus, maybe you'll get the added benefit of getting him to start producing on the channel again. I always thought YouTube would be an interesting platform to continue short film building, and some of the coolest and creepiest short films were actually discovered on this platform. Lights Out being one of those. So, check him out. Give a couple bits of love to those short films, and shoot him a few messages saying, hey, this is awesome. Could I see more? This has been Septum Sin, and this has been another YouTube shout out.